Hi, I'm Tati, and this is what I want to read in October. So, as you can see, I've decided I want to try out doing a monthly TBR. I haven't done this before, and I'm not really sure how it's going to go because I am a mood reader and a procrastinator, but I do want to give it a shot. So the first thing on my list to read is anything I didn't finish in September. I'm currently reading 2 books. It should be 3 books, and I'll explain that in a second. I'm currently reading Allied by Amy Tintera, and I'm only this much into it. And I'm also currently reading Girl Boss on my phone, as you can see, as an ebook. And I'm about 77% of the way through. So I think I'll be able to finish Girl Boss before October, even though it is currently the 28th. So I don't know if I'll finish Allied, and if I don't finish Allied, then I will be putting that at the top of my October TBR. I did also get this ARC at BookNet Fest for Broken Things, and I do want to read it before its release. However, it is going to be released in October, and that 10/18 I thought meant it would be released the 18th of October, but I'm now thinking it means it's going to be released October 2018, and Goodreads says it's expected to be published on the 2nd. And I haven't even started it yet. So I'm going to try to squeeze it in to the end of September. If not, I'll try to squeeze it into the first day of October, and if not, I have failed myself. But if I don't manage to read this in September, it's definitely going to be on my October TBR. And if you want to know a little bit about it, this is Broken Things by Lauren Oliver. It's an ARC I got at BookNet Fest. It's a murder mystery and also a psychological thriller, so right up my alley. It's about 3 girls, one who was murdered, and her 2 best friends, and who are suspected of murdering her. And that's all I'm going to share about it, because I feel like this is one of those books that the less you know going into it, the better it is. And after that, the next thing on my list to read is A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallero. And by that I mean the whole series. I believe this is the whole series. I don't know if there's a 4th book in it. This is everything that I believe is published right now, at least, in the series. So that's A Study in Charlotte, The Last of August, and The Case for Jamie. The next one I want to read is Smoke in the Sun by Renee Audier. This is the sequel to Flame in the Mist, which I have already read and enjoyed, and I'm way behind on reading the sequel. I also want to start Boys Over Flowers. This is a shoujo manga. Yeah, it's a shoujo manga. There are so many shows adapted off of this, so I want to give the manga a try. Plus, I get through mangas pretty quickly, and my Goodreads goal is not looking so great right now. I'm less than halfway to my goal of 100, and we're already about to be in October. So if I can get some mangas read, I'll be able to boost up the amount of books I read fairly quickly. So I do at least want to read this first volume in October. Depending on how the month's going, I might pick up subsequent volumes and how much I like it. I hope I really like it. I'm not sure. I've not really picked up a manga I didn't really like. I don't think. So I have high hopes. Alright, this next category is books I will be renting as ebooks. A Whole New World by Liz Braswell, which is part of the Twisted Tale series. And the next one is Coin Heist by Elisa Ludwig. Now, I've mentioned before that I'm trying to get through my physical TBR to read all my unread books that I actually own. So I picked one book from my physical TBR shelves, and that is A Map for Wrecked Girls by Jessica Taylor. This is actually a book I contemplated reading for the biannual bibliothon. I put it into my Try a Chapter Tag video, so if you want to see what I thought of the first chapter of this book, that video will be linked in the description. And I think it's time I finally get around to reading it. It's also a pretty short book, not too long, so I think it might be a quick read for this month. And this is where the TBR starts to get a little bit unrealistic, because I also have books I would like to reread this month. One of them is Flame in the Mist by Renee Audier, and I want to reread this before reading the sequel, which I mentioned earlier. I would also like to reread both the To All the Boys I Loved Before series by Jenny Han and the Darkest Mind series by Alexandra Bracken. These are both series that had movies released recently, and I have already watched both movies, but I would like to reread both series, rewatch both movies, and then come up with my reviews for them, which I can do because To All the Boys is on Netflix. Hopefully it's not going anywhere anytime soon. I don't think it will. Do Netflix originals ever leave Netflix? I have no idea about that. And The Darkest Minds movie is going to be out on October 30th, which I'm very excited for because ever since I saw it in the theater, all I wanted to do is rewatch it. I also thought it would be interesting if I picked some books. So yes, we're going with even more books for this TBR that's already got quite a few books on it. But I thought it would be interesting if I added some books to this TBR from some videos I filmed earlier this year. During the Strike Back Videoathon, I filmed a books I want to read this year video, a series I need to finish video, and a classics I want to read video. And I don't really remember exactly what I said in those videos, and because I'm a procrastinator, I'm sure that I haven't read any of those books. So right now I'm going to rewatch those videos, get ready for the cringe factor, and I'm going to pick at least one book from each of those videos to put on my TBR. Also, depending on how this goes, maybe I can do this for my November and December TBRs as well and get some of these books read. Doing it on my phone. I don't know why, but I just prefer to watch YouTube on my phone all the time. 5 books I want to read this year. That's the first one. I hope my makeup still doesn't look like that. Like on here, my makeup is like, my face makeup is like a lot different than the rest of my body. The Book Thief. I've read The Book Thief. That's one I've already read. I haven't watched the movie yet, but I have it out from the library right now. So I'm planning to watch the movie soon. I'm proud of myself. I actually read something that's on this list. Next, I have Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And this is I have not read Gemina yet, so that's an option. So big though. Next up is Turtles All the Way Down by John. Another one I've already read. Yes. So Turtles All the Way Down, I've already read. I loved it. I talked about it on here before. I will definitely be getting to it this year. Next up, I have Deja Dead by Kathy Rex. Deja Dead, I did not read yet. The bookmark is in the same place. I haven't picked it up at all. Number 5 is Crooked Kingdom by Lee Bardugo. And when I said that I meant Six of Crows, I couldn't think of the Six of Crows title. So that's another one I haven't read. I could honestly go on and on. And on and on and on. Okay, so basically from that, I got that my options are Illuminae, basically the Illuminae files. Which, look at these giant books, and the next one is just as giant. So it would be 3 books, reread of Illuminae, reading Gemina for the first time, and then reading Obsidio for the first time. Hopefully I could get my hands on it from the library. Or reading Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Or reading Deja Dead by Kathy Rex. The one I'm going to eliminate right off the bat is Six of Crows. Not because I don't want to read it, I've heard great things about it, it's because, like myself in January, I still do want to reread the Grisha trilogy first. And that is just going to be way too many books to add to this already huge TBR, I feel like. And I'm still adding more after this. So I think I might push that to November or December. And so I'm left with Deja Dead or the Illuminae files. Part of me wants to just go with Deja Dead because it's one book. It's not that long, even though it is adult and I've had trouble getting through it before. And it is the beginning of a series that I do want to make progress in. So that would be nice. However, I have heard such great things about Gemina. So I think I'm going to go with the Illuminae files. If I can get my hands on Obsidio. These are going on my TBR. That's 3 more massive books. Alright, on to the next video. Series I need to finish. First up, we have the Between the Lines series by Jodi. I haven't finished that yet. The thing about Between the Lines is when I first read it, I had no idea there was a sequel. And I loved it a lot. And I wanted a sequel. Like, I had fan fiction-ish thoughts. I never wrote it down about what would happen next. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what I was thinking of because it's kind of spoilery, but I wanted that sequel. And then we had the sequel and everybody else knew about it before I did because I don't know how I didn't find out about it, but it was all over BookTube before I even knew it was a thing. And I just have not read it. I've just put it off. I think it's because I'm afraid it won't live up to my expectations.
However, I didn't like this one as much.
The Fifth Wave. I liked the first book. The second book confused me a little bit, but I did not hate it. And The Last Star is the last book, and I own it, and I haven't read it yet because I was spoiled. When I get spoiled for something, I never want to read it ever again. I don't know why. So I don't even know how long I've had The Last Star for. It's probably since it came out. And I just have not picked it up yet. But picking that for this year would entail rereading all of them. So let's see what else is on this list.
I read the first book, Divergent, and the second book, Insurgent.
So yeah, Divergent series is similar situation to the Fifth Wave series. I've read the first 2 books. I love them. I actually spoiled myself for that one. I looked up the reviews for some reason. I don't remember why, but I spoiled myself for that one, and I just haven't been able to read it. And I don't think I'm going to be reading it this month because it's kind of like the equivalent thickness of the books in the Illuminae files, except that it doesn't have all the pictures and stuff that makes it quicker to read. So I don't think I'm adding it to this TBR. I do need to read it. I will eventually read Allegiant, I feel like. However, I definitely will read Divergent and Insurgent again before reading Allegiant. It's just what I do. I'm a big rereader. So wait, so what does that leave me with? Because that's the end, right? So that's the end of that. So my options were Divergent, which I already said I'm not doing it because I'm doing Illuminae. The Fifth Wave, I'm a little bit tempted to do the Fifth Wave because I don't think, well, I do have sci-fi. I was gonna say, I don't know what I'm gonna be in the mood for. This is the problem with being a mood reader. I don't know what I'm gonna be in the mood for. But I was gonna say maybe I'm gonna want something that's more of the sci-fi dystopian kind of thing. Which I don't know if it's dystopian, post-apocalyptic, disaster, I don't know. But I do already have sci-fis if I read Illuminae. That I can go more to the contemporary fantasy. It's light fantasy. I think of it more as contemporary, even though, yeah, it has like people going into and coming out of books. So it's a bit fantasy. Do I have one of those already on my list? I don't think so. I have mystery, I have manga, I have contemporary, at least one, and I have a lot of rereads. Oh, I do have fantasy because I have Flame in the Mist, but it's a bit different. I'm gonna go with a reread of Between the Lines, and then I will jump into Off the Page. Oh boy, I still have another video to watch. Classics I want to read. Now, I didn't specify for this video that it had to be this year, the classics. But I am trying to read more classics. I read barely any. So I just want to see what I said I wanted to read and add it to this TBR. Add something that's a classic.
Everything in this collection of Jane Austen.
Everything in the Jane Austen book?
Anne of Green Gables series.
Another one. A whole series.
Sherlock Holmes.
And that's the one I'm doing. So I just said that I want to read all of this book, and the whole Anne of Green Gables series, which is not happening. However, because I said Sherlock Holmes, I'm going to go with Sherlock Holmes, not the whole book. At this point, we've gone into my fantastical, imaginary, where this is possible TBR. But I'm going to be reading A Study in Charlotte. So I want to read A Study in Scarlet first. And I don't know where A Study in Scarlet falls in here. Are Sherlock Holmes mysteries like in chronological order? Do you have to read them in a certain order? Because I hate reading things out of order. Where is A Study in Scarlet? It's the first one after the introduction. I don't even have to read anything out of order. It's the first one in this book. That means, as far as I know, is the first one. So I'm going to read A Study in Scarlet for this TBR before I read A Study in Charlotte. So that's my very ambitious TBR. Let's see, how many books is it? Pretending that I finish everything I need to finish in September. So nothing from September is going into October. I will be reading. I kind of lost count at some point in there, but it's either 23 or 24. I also forgot to mention that when I do my reread of The Darkest Minds, it will also be so that I can finish reading Through the Dark, because I never read all of the novellas that go with The Darkest Minds, and also so I can read the new bonus material that's in the new paperback editions that came out that my sister actually owns, so I'll just borrow them from her. I don't know if that's new content or if it's old content that I never read, but I'm going to be doing that. And I also want to reread so that I can finally read The Darkest Legacy, which takes place 5 years later and is from Zoo's perspective instead of Ruby's, but is still part of that series. So I would be reading some new content along with my reread. So that is my very overly ambitious October TBR. I don't know how much of it I'm going to get through. I'm going to try my best to get through as much as possible. As for the order I'm going to read stuff in, I'm actually going to be making another video where I kind of pick and choose and sort kind of the order I want to read the stuff in. So if you want to see that, if you're interested to find that out, stay tuned. If you liked this video, you can let me know by giving it a like. Let me know in the comments if you want to see me make more TBR videos. Also, let me know your thoughts on any of these books, but please don't spoil me for any of them because I haven't read most of them yet. I try to upload a new video to this channel every Tuesday and Friday, so subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching. Bye. I love getting to use the giant books to do the book snap. Hi, I'm Croaky. I'm hoping to do some kind of a series with the Twisted Tale books, depending on how much I like this first one. So stay tuned if you want to know more about that. I'm being very vague about it right now because I don't have anything set in stone for my plans yet.
Read the last one when it comes out right after it. So
You didn't do that.
Until like right before Obsidio, I believe
Yeah,
it's called, comes
yeah.
out, and then I can read the.
You didn't do that. Obsidio is out already.
Back to back. I'll probably reread
Is this entertaining, me yelling at myself? Alright, on to the next video. That took 10 minutes, man. Look at it. And I'm hoping that with these rereads, I'll be able to do kind of like a vlog. So let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see. I might do it anyway, even if nobody says they want to see it. Because I have been trying to practice vlogging, and the only way to get better at vlogging is to practice it. So I thought it might be cool to vlog my rereading and rewatching of the movies, and then do a separate review video too for anyone who doesn't care about vlogs.
And I still haven't watched the movie because I want to read.
Yeah, but you're going to,
But I just
like,
haven't been
almost a year later.
I don't know why. I know. And today I'm talking about.
My hair
series
looks
that I
cute
watched.
here, but my eyebrows don't know how to do this because I've never done it before. Oh, might be so cringy. And because I'm a bit of a procrastinator, I'm such a procrastinator. Again, I'm too close to the camera. TBR stacks up quick when you're talking about whole series, okay?
I think I read on Twitter that there's going to be more books in this series.
Wait, I forgot about
And
that.
finally, I have the
Is there gonna be?
Divergent series by
Wait! Stop. Is there gonna be more books in the Fifth Wave series? Are there already? Did I miss out again? I don't think I can. If there's more books in the series, there's no way I'm putting that on October TBR. But I need to do some Googling, or let me know in the comments if you know. That is one heavy pile of books. That's the problem with liking hardcovers. So so I said that already. Is this a mistake? It may be a mistake. Definitely a mistake. Oh, I didn't do a thumbnail for the reader problems tag either. Great. We'll put this on my head. Oh. Okay, we're done. Ow, ow, ow. And like I said, I have a real problem with spoilers. Please don't spoil me or anyone else.